We are Transform. We are a 15-year-old nonprofit organization working in the environmental and social justice arena, really creating a better quality of life for communities throughout the Bay Area and California. And we do that through two ways, through improving transportation options for communities, improving public transportation, doing transportation advocacy around public transportation, walking and biking. We also focus on land use and building walkable communities. So we think about creating programs that support transit-oriented development, putting housing, affordable housing near transit, so that you can live somewhat inexpensively and get around maybe with just one car instead of two, or maybe you don't need a car, or maybe you're disabled or you're elderly, you actually can't have a car, you can't afford a car. So we're really thinking about how to build communities that are good for people, improve their quality of life, and at the same time improve the environment, mitigate greenhouse gas emissions. Transportation is the largest emitter of greenhouse gases in the state of California. I think it's close to 60%. You also think about public health. You think about how we all used to walk and bike to school. When I was young, I walked to school. That's what we did. And these days, because of safety issues and kind of helicopter parents and other things, there's concern, or you have to cross a big freeway. And so really creating infrastructure and supportive policies that make walking and biking possible, improving public health, and just economically, transportation accounts for, I want to say, 38% of a low-income community members' costs, how they get places. Well, let's bring that down so that they can have money for healthcare and food and how to, other things that are important as well. So Transform, we work at the local scale, the regional scale, and more at the state level. So we kind of cut our chops in the Bay Area in 1997, and we support policy. We do a lot of policy work, a lot of advocacy, making sure that the transportation dollars that the region has are really working, less on highways, more on walking, biking safety, public transportation. And then we also have an office in Sacramento, so we are more and more involved in making sure state policies are funding our issues. We're really excited right now to see the cap and trade revenues, the allocations from the cap and trade revenues, which the legislature will vote on at the end of June, really coming out in support of sustainable communities, because it's a once-in-a-generation opportunity for billions of dollars for alternative transportation. So that's Transform. Transform is in the midst of a strategic planning process. We got some funding from the Hewlett Foundation that's taking us, it's going to take us through the end of 2013 to really identify what are our main goals for the next 5 years. We're super excited to have this opportunity to really step back and figure out where, in which space we should really focus, what really the needs are at the local, regional, and state level for transportation and land use policy and programs. This year, for 2013, we're in the midst of two pretty big campaigns. As I mentioned, the cap and trade state campaign. We're really making sure that all of our supporters and constituents and stakeholders are, reaching out to their legislators to say you really need to keep this draft policy robust in support of sustainable communities. We also have some regional work. There's something called a Sustainable Communities Strategy, which is essentially a transportation plan for the next 25 years, and that comes to a vote in June of 2013, so really close. And we want to make sure that, again, the policies in support of our issues are passed. So that's at the regional scale through the Metropolitan Transportation Commission. We continue to believe in our Safe Routes to Schools program. It's Alameda County based. It's one of the premier urban Safe Routes to Schools program in the country. It started in Marin County, and we took on the urban model, and we're in approximately 100 schools, and we'd like to continue to grow that program. 100 schools throughout the Bay Area, throughout Alameda County, lots of low-income schools. So really, we have I think 8 staff members right now, and I think we're looking to add a few more at the end of 2013 if funding allows. I am someone who's been in the nonprofit sector for 15 years, and I have really found my place to be where money and mission meet. And to me, there's nothing more exciting than taking someone's hopes for the community and matching it with taking philanthropic action and philanthropic support. So my graduate degree is in geography and human environmental studies from San Francisco State. So I kind of have some of the content, but I really felt like the relationship piece and really making sure that we have the money to support all the wonderful program staff we have here at Transform was my place. So I came on board. I am someone who lives in a walkable community. I am blessed. I live close to several AC transit lines and a BART station, and my kids are fortunate enough to be able to bike pretty safely around our community. So I do actually believe in our mission, and I think that the fact that there are so many co-benefits and triple bottom lines to, like you were discussing, Jane, about equity, environment, health, really kind of tackling so many issues that our communities are facing at once, really inspired me to come on board here at Transform. It's a wonderful organization. We have 33 people and 3 offices here in Oakland, in San Jose, and Sacramento. I feel really lucky to work for such a great organization having really important impact. There are several ways. We have an electronic newsletter, and if you go to www.transformca.org, you can sign right up for that electronic newsletter. And why that's helpful, it comes out once a month, not too much. It really talks about our efforts and campaigns and work, and because we're trying to move policy, sometimes we need people to tell their legislators, please support this bill. And so being on our list, so you can get involved, you can just hear about when we just need people to inundate Sacramento and say, please support a 3-foot bill around bikes so cars can't be within 3 feet of bikes, which actually didn't get passed. It got passed in the legislature and Governor Brown vetoed it. I know. So, but we had a lot of great support. It's just an example. We have lots of successes too. So you can get involved and just pay attention to these issues through our e-newsletter. We have events. You can come to our events. We post them on our website on an events page, and we often, through the electronic newsletter, tell people about our events. We love it when people donate to us. Unrestricted dollars really allow us to do the advocacy that we want to do, because foundations don't like to pay for that, and be nimble with our work so we can be ready to capitalize on an opportunity as it comes up.